Peter. No. It's Brant.
Okay.
Brant.
Nice to meet you.
My parents gave me that name. It's named. I'm named after a goose. I don't know why.
So,
Well, I'm American born Chinese. My parents live in California. There are 4 kids in my family. There are 2 boys in the middle and 2 girls. So my sister and myself, we live in Taiwan. And my older brother and my younger sister, they live in California.
okay. So your parents live in California?
My parents are what?
Live in California now.
Well, they've always lived in California.
So where are you from? Anyway.
California.
Okay.
Well, so I'm American born Chinese. So on my mom's side, my great grandfather came from China to America during the gold rush. And he was actually worked on the railroads. So in US history, what happened was they wanted to make railroads go all over America. And there was a certain line they wanted to have finished. And they hired a lot of Chinese to do this. And the Chinese were very hard workers. So the Chinese that worked on the one line, they finished before the other line. So there was a bet going on. And so my great grandfather on my mom's side, he worked in the railroads. So my parents and my grandparents from my mom's side, and then my grandfather was born in America, and then my mom was born in America.
So how long have you been doing?
I've been in Taiwan 17 years.
So you can speak Chinese?
My Chinese is still terrible. I could read a little bit, and I like to write a little bit. I still need to work a little more.
So how do you arrange your time in the past week?
Wait, what?
How do you arrange your time in the past week?
Well, it depends. When I'm teaching, then I do those things. But right now, what has happened, I'm renting a house. So I do this thing called subletting. And what it means is that I have to pay for the house. But I can rent to other people. I can rent a room to other people. So that's, like I'm become like the landlord. And so I'm in charge of these other people that come to the house. So 2 people moved out. So now I'm preparing the rooms for the next people to come.
So are you a person who plans a daily schedule in the week?
The whole day?
Yeah.
Well, it depends. If I'm working, sometimes I work in the morning and sometimes I work in the afternoon. And in the evenings, I usually have free. So it depends. If I'm working on a lesson, I'll do that. Sometimes I like to watch movies, or I'm watching a series on math. Because maybe one day I'll be an engineer. Because I like electronics. Like your cell phone, that's electronics. And I would like to learn that. I was going that way a long time ago, and then I got discouraged and I didn't go.
So what things you do you think is a waste of time?
Well, in 2008, I have a dog. I had a dog. My dog died last year. But 2007, I got a puppy. She was 5 months, so she was pretty big. And she's a Labrador, and she was too wild. So I didn't know how to train her. So I found a program in Canada. So we went to Canada in 2008, and we were there for 3 months. And they taught me to become a trainer, and they taught her. But then when I came back to Taiwan, I train dogs from time to time. So sometimes when people need help, I'll help train the dogs.
So you think it's a waste of time?
It depends. Yeah, sometimes I help the rescue organizations. Some people, they find dogs and they help the dogs, and then they try to send the dogs to places, usually America or sometimes Canada. And sometimes I'll help them.
Okay. So do you think you spend your time wisely?
I would say most of the time I spend my time wisely. I think that people, kids and adults, they should be very well organized. I think there's 2 very important things that adults should learn, or kids should learn, so that when they become adults, they have this. And the 2 things are accounting, learn how to work with numbers. If they ever want a business, they have to know, okay, well, where am I spending my money? Am I losing money? Am I making money? This is very important. And that's one thing. And the second thing is to be very well organized. of course, that's part of it, but also to be on time. If you have a job, you come on time, you know, and you always try to stay healthy so you don't call in sick too often, you know, and you always try to be prepared. I think those are very important as well.
So, do you use your time to develop your own interest or improve your soft power?
Let's see again, please.
So, you will use your time to improve your own interest or improve soft power?
Well, when I divide my time up, it depends. Sometimes I get too tired to learn something, but like right now I have a book on math. It's math I already know, but I'm going back to study this math. And so I'm writing my own notes. Like usually when kids go to math class, they take the notes, they take a test, they pass the test, they're like, oh my goodness, I'm finished. But sometimes they don't just really keep it in their mind to keep it fresh and to remember. So one of the things that I like teaching is, when you see me bring the cubes. With the cubes, it's two things. You're making the memory of the muscles in your body, in your hands, specifically, to remember these things. And if you practice a habit enough, you'll have that habit forever. So sometimes you might forget, and this is why I really want them to take a note and then keep the note somewhere, and then they could go, oh, okay.
So, you think you rally your times to do the thing you really want to do?
Well, it depends on what time of the day or what I have to do. So first, work comes first. So if I have to work, then work first. But lunchtime, usually most schools 2 hours for lunch. So then I could go do something. I could go shopping or eat lunch. I have to eat lunch, but sometimes I could do some other things, like study or get ready. Or sometimes I have to answer my email. I don't use a smartphone the way most people use it. If someone wants to know, Brant, how are you doing? Then I'll tell them, but I don't try to chat with people. Sometimes they'll say, Brant, can you work today? I'll say yes, and then it's just very quick, and then that's it. And then I don't talk to them. Sometimes people at another school will call me, can you work today? I said, I cannot. That's all I say. And I don't tell them why. I don't say, oh, no. I just, so very quick.
For your time.
Thank you very much.